Becomes available. Please subscribe to New Jersey OAG on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for the latest updates. And now I'd like to hand things off to our first speaker today, Attorney General Matthew J. Platkin. General.
Thank you, Whitney. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone, for getting on short notice. Through the use of our automated license plate reader technology, New Jersey law enforcement officers were able to locate a person of interest in the vicinity of Royal Albert's Palace in Woodbridge, New Jersey, during the early evening hours late yesterday. The vehicle was registered to a person of interest in a homicide case being investigated by the New York Police Department. NYPD personnel responded to the New Jersey location and partnered with officers from the Woodbridge Police Department to further investigate and locate the person of interest. And we are not releasing that person's name right now as we are pending next of kin notifications. While conducting the investigation inside the hotel in the early morning hours this morning, law enforcement officers encountered the person of interest and there was an exchange of gunfire. In the exchange of gunfire, 2 members of our law enforcement community, 1 officer from the Woodbridge Police Department, and 1 detective from the New York City Police Department sustained gunshot wounds. They remain hospital at this time and are being treated for their injuries. We are not yet releasing their identities, but I ask that members of the public keep them in their thoughts and prayers as they begin their road to recovery. The person of interest is being sought by law enforcement, also sustained gunshot injuries and has died from those injuries. As is the case in all fatal police encounters with law enforcement in the state of New Jersey, both pursuant to the state's independent prosecutor law, as well as law enforcement directive issued by my office, members of my office's shooting response team were notified and responded to the scene. Both state law and, again, Attorney General directive require that the death of any civilian be investigated by our Office of Public Integrity and Accountability, which is within my office. That investigation remains ongoing. As is the case with all such investigations, information, including footage of the shooting, will be publicly released at the earliest possible time once certain aspects of the investigation are substantially complete, and we are working tirelessly to complete this investigation as timely as possible. And as you likely know, the investigation will also be presented to a grand jury, again, according to state law. The underlying investigation related to the person of interest in crimes committed in New York State remain the subject of an NYPD investigation. As the state's chief law enforcement officer, I am resolute in working with our law enforcement partners to complete a thorough and efficient and complete investigation. I've been in communication both with the Woodbridge Township Police Department as well as the New York City Police Department. While I am extraordinarily grateful for the swift and brave actions by all who responded, this is also a painful reminder that police officers and our law enforcement officers face tremendous risks every single day when they go out and do their job. They never know what that call is going to lead to. And no member of our law enforcement community, just as no member of our public, should be subject to violence while performing their duties or going about their lives. These officers take enormous risks on a daily basis to keep our community safe. They've taken the sacred oath to keep all of us safe, and we must continue to work together to prevent and disrupt gun violence of any kind in our state and throughout this country. I would like to express my deep appreciation to all the law enforcement officers who promptly responded to the incident and worked through the night, just as they work tirelessly every day to keep our community safe. My heartfelt and the heartfelt thoughts and prayers of my entire office are with those two officers who were injured, as well as their families. And we also think and pray for all of the responding officers, their loved ones, the greater Woodbridge Police Department community and the New York City Police Department community, as well as, and this is particularly true as we observe Gun Violence Awareness Month, all victims of senseless gun violence, which we are working so tirelessly to combat. I thank you all. I'm happy to take a few questions.
Thank you, General. If there are questions there, feel free to type them into the chat. We also have the ability to, let's see, we have a few hands raised. If you have a question, please type it into the Q&A portion. General, we have our first question. Can you say if the suspect was staying at the hotel here or was attending an event at the venue?
What I can say is that through, again, our ALPR technology, which I know we've made substantial investments in and are incredibly useful tools in combating both auto theft and violent crime. Through our ALPR technology, we were able to locate the person of interest near the Royal Albert's Palace Hotel in Woodbridge, and that led to the response from NYPD jointly with the Woodbridge Police Department.
General, we have a second question. How many shots were fired by the suspect and the officers?
Those details we don't have available to release at this time. Again, we will make information about the encounter available as promptly as we can. For those of you who are not familiar with our protocols, we strive to release information in a timely fashion once the investigation is substantially complete. That will include footage of the incident, as well as a description of what occurred.
An additional question, can you tell us about the homicide the suspect is connected to, and is he a migrant?
That investigation remains ongoing by NYPD, and my understanding is NYPD will be providing additional detail on their investigation shortly.
Thank you. As a reminder to all participants to enter their questions into the Q&A portion allows us to follow up as necessary through OAG Press. I have a question here in the chat, though. Can the AG confirm that the police in New Jersey got a hit off a car wanted in the homicide using the license plate reader and that they tracked the car to the Raritan Hotel?
Yes, ALPR technology was how we were able to identify the person of interest near Royal Albert's Palace. And again, I underscore how important this technology is, and it's why the investments we've made in ALPR technology has allowed us to take extraordinary steps to keep our residents safe.
General, we have time for a few more questions here. Can you say more about the nature of the crime NYPD was investigating leading up to the incident? Was this a high-profile case? News outlets are reporting NYPD official Kaz Doherty was on the scene in an unmarked vehicle.
Again, it was a homicide investigation being pursued by the New York City Police Department. And let me just take this moment to commend NYPD, the partnership we have across state and jurisdictional lines with NYPD, as well as with all of our law enforcement partners, is extraordinary. And the fact that we were able to jointly work on their investigation with the Woodbridge Police Department and these brave officers were responding in tandem, I think speaks to that collaboration. Again, it was a homicide investigation, and once again, the NYPD will be providing more information on their investigation shortly.
General, we have another question. Can you describe the nature of the officer's injuries?
I can't reveal that information at this time, but they are currently being hospitalized, and we are praying for them as I said, they begin their road to recovery. I've spoken with both departments, and I've expressed my deep gratitude for the bravery of these officers displayed, as well as my prayers that their recovery be swift and complete.
Thank you, General. Two more questions here before we wrap up. Can you please speak to where the license plate reader picked up the suspect's vehicle? Additionally, can you speak to the NYPD responding to a call in New Jersey? Do they typically assist in these types of cases? And would that fall to law enforcement in New Jersey?
Again, the ALPR technology identified the person of interest vehicle in the vicinity of Royal Albert's Palace Hotel. That's the information that we have to share. It was essential that the ALPR technology identified this individual. And as far as the collaboration between Woodbridge Police Department and NYPD, as I said earlier, we are extraordinarily grateful for the relationship and the cooperation and the collaboration we have with NYPD to jointly investigate crimes, hold individuals accountable, and keep our residents safe. We know crime doesn't stop at the Hudson River, and we work tirelessly every day across state lines to ensure that this region stays safe. So it's not uncommon for NYPD and New Jersey law enforcement officers or state and federal law enforcement officers to work jointly on an investigation, particularly one that involves a homicide. So I commend NYPD for the relationship that we've built with them again, and I pray for their detectives' swift recovery.
Thank you, General. And that is all we have for today. So I just want to remind everybody on the line, thank you again for joining us. If you're looking for more information, please follow up with OAG Press at njoag.gov. Again, because this investigation is ongoing, some questions may not be able to be answered at this time, but additional information will be made available soon via press release. Thank you, General. Thank you all. And we will close
Thank you
this
all.
briefing.